Most challenge runs you'll see these days are made trivial due to proper stat investment. When the runner has played Dark Souls hundreds of times, they can invest all their points into damage and make the bosses fall over like paper. But how about we make it so that we can't min-max our stats? For now, we have tutorial boss to tutorial, so we throw some black firebombs at it till it dies. Then we pick up our starting gear and talk to Oscar to get our flask, as well as the Pilgrim's Key to leave this place. And leave we do. And here, we get started with our level ups. We're going to go in order down the stat list over and over. And the goal is to make every stat just low enough to make us pretty much useless. For now, we're not too weak, but that's because this is the start of the game. As you may have seen, we're taking out the Crestfallen Warrior for an extra 1,000 souls. And after getting to level Endurance and Strength just once each, we start on our trek through Lordran. These early enemies aren't much trouble just yet, and that's especially true when we can just parry anything that might be dangerous. Then, with the killing of more easy enemies, we make it to the Undead Merchant, who we also kill, as to not waste souls on his stock. Well, I mean, you have to actually parry him, dude. We then level up our dexterity, and move deeper into the Burg, with 2 cracked round shields. Yeah, that'll be useful. Continuing on our quest for more souls as always, there's a Black Knight in the Burg we can kill if we're up to the challenge. And let's just say, I'm very up to it. We also get the Black Knight sword, but its stat requirements are kind of way too far out of our pay grade, especially at the moment. We then use our Master Key to open the door to the Watchtower basement. Down here is a certain Havel the Rock. I don't know, the loreheads are gonna get angry no matter what I say. Havel or not, we could backstab him repeatedly for minimal damage, but at the end, he gives up Havel's ring, as well as a nice 3,000 souls. My thought is, since we won't be able to level Endurance much, it'll be nice to be able to equip things and not fat roll because of the equip load this ring provides. As for the Taurus Demon, he jumps down, then we climb up, then we plunge him, lead him a bit, plunge him again, and finally finish him off for an easy fight. We then open the shortcut to our already lit bonfire, and with nearly 10,000 souls, we can level up every stat but dexterity once. And by using our poppable souls, we can level dexterity too. Just kidding. Then we lead the Hellkite off its perch, and grab the Claymore while running to the next bonfire. Comparing our 2 big swords right now, the Black Knight sword requires a lot more to use, but the Claymore is usable as long as we two-hand it. We can still parry using this weapon too, as all we have to do is just switch to two-handing before we riposte, and with the right timing, we can land some big damage. And after killing the second Black Knight for more souls, we take out all the enemies in the boar room, as well as the boar. So we can progress further. There's a backstab here, a Titan Knight Demon and a Tower Knight dead there, but other than goodies like the Firekeeper Soul, it's a straight shot to Lautrec, who we kill for the Ring of Favor and Protection. After that, it's time for the Bell Gargoyles, and the Gargoyles can be pretty scary, especially if your weapon is unupgraded like mine is. We do a sizable chunk of health with every slow attack, but to me, it's pretty manageable. After a couple tries, we get a tail cut, which not only makes the fight easier, but it gives me my favorite weapon. And though we die, this is just an opportunity to use our weapon. The Gargoyle Tail Axe has pretty much no recovery time when it lands a hit on a target, and 2 swings is all it takes to stun a gargoyle here. So with smart play, we can just stun lock a gargoyle, even while we manage our stamina. This axe is at plus 0.2, and it's doing a lot of damage. So needless to say, when we're back down to 1 gargoyle, we've already won. I mean, we haven't already won, we just already got the hard part of the fight over with, you get it. Now that the first Bell of Awakening is rung, we do a bit of backtracking, and we end up back at the lower Undead Burg. This is the first area in the game with dogs in it, which if you don't know, dogs are the absolute worst enemy in the base game. But after a quick gank death, we take out all the enemies slowly and make it to our next boss. Our goal here is to take out the dogs, because after that, the Capra isn't hard to solo dodge. You get one lucky hit in on the first one, but trying to maneuver to hit the finishing blow, the second one triggers, and we get into a bit of a tight spot. Our only option is the staircase, which thankfully is open to us. As the entire cast follows, one hit basically sets us home free. We finish off the second dog, and then take the Capra Demon out, no problem. With the souls from these two bosses, we wrap all the way back around to strength. Then, after popping souls, we can level dexterity too. Now, it's time to go to the depths. We have an unfortunate encounter with the Butcher, but come back and grab the large ember. We then plunge the large rat, slide down a shortcut, and kill the caster to make our next boss easy. Oh look, it's just a little guy. What the hell? First impressions on the boss are actually pretty okay. This boss is really tanky, so I honestly expected less. The fight itself is just running in circles, the only interesting part being the tail cut, so after a few minutes, this boss goes down. With the souls, we wrap around to attunement and pop some extras for a level in endurance. We head down to New Lundo next, and use our master key to skip to the end of Blighttown. We then die grabbing a Firekeeper soul, and fight Quelaag. If you thought the Gaping Dragon was tanky, Quelaag is just as bad, but this time you have to actually pay attention to her attacks. There is quite a bit of downtime where you can just spam at her, but her health bar always drains slowly. Regardless, slow progress is progress, and she dies eventually. Then we ring the second bell, and that marks the opening of Sen's Fortress. As for the souls, we save them going into Sen's. Along the way to our destination, we pick up some large Titanite. We make this random jump here to get to the Crestfallen merchant, who sells large Titanite. We buy as much as we can, grab the cage key from below, and use it to head back down to Andre. And with that, we upgrade our tail axe to plus 10. We head back up, kill the Firebomb Giant, and head into the Iron Golem's arena. The Golem can be knocked down rather easily. This normally is just a good opportunity for damage, but if done in the right spot, can outright end the fight. Now on Anor Londo, we kill the Gargoyle here for my third favorite choice in terms of headgear. We then head along the rafters, take a little shortcut, and glitch open Gwendolyn's arena early. Gwendolyn is easy, so we're taking him on now. Ow. Oh, okay, yeah, he's not too hard. With the souls from him and the Iron Golem, we wrap around multiple times, ending at Faith. There are some Silver Knight archers to lead off the edges on the rafters, but other than that, it's a straight shot to ONS. This fight is mainly here to test your patience. Getting a stray hit in Ornstein is usually a very lucky feat. He's only ever open when he's recovering from an attack, but Smo often covers Ornstein during that opening, leaving you to just sit back and wait. I'm not in a particularly patient mood today, so we actually die. Why do people like this boss again? I hate their combo moves. After a while, we make it to Phase 2. And Phase 2 is much easier. Smo on his own is slow and overall pretty useless, and we take him down despite his stupid combos. We then grab the Lord Vessel, head down to the Demon Rooms to cheese Ceaseless, realize we forgot to place the Lord Vessel, do that, take out not one, not two, but 3 easy bosses, and we already have a Lord Soul. We skipped a bit of leveling, so by now we're at attunement, and that takes us to strength. We're back in Anor Londo, this time to take out Seath. We take out all his guards, grab the broken pendant, and die to Seath? Oh, yeah, that's supposed to happen. We steal the key to our prison cell off this guard, and jailbreak ourselves out of here, which actually requires another, different key, but we make it out, and eventually to Seath, who is now mortal thanks to us destroying his crystal. And I guess there was a reason Seath wanted to escape mortality. He's really, really weak. Like, breathe on him wrong and he dies weak. Leveling up, we mess up and skip dexterity, although this only hurts us, so I think I'm going to count it as fair game. Our next choice for a Lord Soul to conquer lies in the Catacombs. The Catacombs themselves are an area we're tackling really late, so most enemies just fall over. But we skip most of them with Vamos, since he opens up an exit to Pinwheel. Pinwheel? Who's that again? It's the guy here? This guy is a boss. Well, who cares? As for the Tomb of the Giants, we accidentally anger Patches, grab the Skull Lantern, level Vitality, and use the lantern to run through the entire area, dodging every enemy. Then, we take the minimum amount of fall damage as we enter the boss arena of our Lord Soul. Nito would be an easy boss if not for his friends who harass us constantly. We've just barely reached the threshold to one-shot them though, and as long as we stay near the entrance of this arena, the bigger and scarier guys won't come over. Nito actually helps us out too. He can kill his friends, and we can try to kill him in return. We can hit Nito a lot actually, and his health drains pretty quick when he doesn't do his AoE, which just stalls out the fight. Stalling doesn't last forever though. I mean, like literally, by definition, it doesn't last forever. Now we're to our last Lord Soul, and that soul starts with Sif. Sif is a boss that tests your dodging skills. Can't dodge? Well, you aren't gonna win. Thankfully, I've played this game over 100 times, and I don't use a shield, so Sif isn't gonna be too scary no matter the run. I mean, I'll still feel bad when she limps, but we need that ring. At this point, we realize our dex mistake from earlier, correct it, and head down to New Lundo for our last Lord Soul. We barely make it up the ladder here since we can't damage the ghosts, but otherwise, we can just take a shortcut straight to the Four Kings. We drop down to the Abyss and realize how hard our damage is falling off. Turns out leveling Attunement, Resistance, Faith, and Intelligence when you don't need any of them is gonna make the game hard at a certain point. The boss itself has a long run back, and along with the difficulty of the fight itself, this is a challenge alright. If we forego any sense of self-preservation, we can manage to kill a king in decent time. We speedrun the next two down, and are to our last king. But we kill the last king and still aren't done? I guess they're the 5 kings now. Well now, it's time to head to the DLC. The Sanctuary Guardian, well, other than the clipping, is a really solid fight. The Guardian is fast, poisons you if you're in the wrong position, and keeps you on your toes at a range. Healing is a challenge, and that's if you even get the chance. But you can also go on a roll, dodging attacks, and dishing out damage yourself. And when the Guardian goes down, you have another boss to fight. Artorias sucks. As if our damage wasn't already bad enough, Artorias is always in charge. You can't run away because he'll buff, but you can't stagger him easily, so it's always about him. And eventually, well, we did get him, but I forgot to unpause my recording, so it's just a hard cut to when I realized. Well, we have another boss to fight. The third and final DLC boss. I think this clip sums up Manus. Since we have about 0 vitality, Manus only has to hit 2 hits of his combo to kill us. And I'm not doing it. I'm just not. Sometimes we even die on the run back. So after we open the door to the kiln, we die to Gwyn once, parry him, see that we're doing... Oh, okay, I guess I don't know what damage we're doing. We kill him anyway, and Link the Flame.